Hi, I'm Monique Jara, the Fairfield Cake Lady, and we are making my American buttercream. It's gonna be simple, easy, 4 ingredients. We're gonna start with butter, confectionery sugar, salt, and fresh vanilla beans. We also have a mixer, and this is my mise en place, which basically just means my equipment that I'm gonna need for this. We're gonna have a nice spatula, and we have a whisk attachment, and then we also have a paddle, and that's gonna be to take the air out. So this is my confectionery sugar. We're gonna sift it, and we're gonna take all the little clumpy things right out. So it's gonna be nice and smooth. We're gonna start with whipping the butter room temperature. This is for 4 batches. Obviously, I'm gonna make it more in bulk. Somebody that's just gonna make 1 cake and decorate it at home, you can do 1 pound. This is 4. So we're gonna take the butter, the room temp butter, we're gonna whip it for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we are gonna start adding the other ingredients. We're gonna start super slow. So as we slowly enter it one at a time, right now at this point we're actually introducing air, so we want it to start getting light and fluffy, and the yellow is actually gonna become a lot more pale. And we're gonna scrape. I'm gonna do this every once in a while, just to make sure it's all off the sides. Start slow again. Also, there's a lot of chatter about what kind of butter to use, salted or unsalted. I actually like to use salted butter. I just like the fact that it cuts the sweetness a little bit. And we're also gonna add another bit of salt. Now, if the butter's too salt, you can just put it in like this. We're gonna let it whip up. And when you see it kind of start sticking on the sides, that's when we're gonna scrape. And because this is such a big batch, you see that some of the butter isn't actually even getting to the whisk. So we're gonna stamp it down. Once it's all incorporated, then we're just gonna let it go for about 5 to 7 minutes. All right, as I'm stamping it down, we're gonna now let it go for another couple minutes. It's actually gonna double, triple in size, and it's gonna get light and fluffy. All right, we're gonna scrape again. It's getting a little bit lighter, but we still got a ways to go. Do you hear the difference? Did it quiet down for you, or you couldn't tell the difference? All right, so this is nice and soft and whipped up. There's a lot of air in it. So now we're gonna shut it down. Okay, so now our next step is gonna be the confectionery sugar. So there's a question. Do you sift or don't you sift? Sometimes if it's just something from my home or from one of my kids' birthdays, I'm not gonna go through the extra step. But for something that you want really, really special, take the time. It's worth it. How I do it is get parchment paper, and you can use any kind of sifter, but this is the one I like just because it's super easy and it's small. So we're just gonna go in. You can do as many passes as you want. I do a couple passes, and for time-wise, I just wanted to show you, we're just gonna pass it once. So what we're trying to do is see all these little clumps we're gonna leave behind. If you're piping and it's not smooth, you might get some little tiny things that are really gonna clog your tubes if you're using pastry bags later on. If you don't wanna do this step and you wanna go right from here into your butter, that's totally fine. And since I have 4 pounds of butter, I also have, it's equal, 4 pounds of confectionery sugar. If you're doing it at home and you're just having a small batch, 1 pound of butter, then we're gonna do 1 pound of confectionery sugar. It's always half and half. We're also gonna do this really, really slowly. If you put a whole bunch of confectionery sugar in that butter, it's gonna poof, and you're gonna make a big mess. I've done it 1,000 times. So we're gonna start this on slow. easiest way I found to do this without making a big mess is you're just gonna fold it. We're gonna do small amounts at a time, and we're gonna slowly dump it in. So do about 1 to 2 cups at a time. Every time you're gonna do it, you're gonna let it go for a little bit, 20, 30 seconds, and then you're gonna scrape down. Make sure you get all the way under, all the way to the bottom. Okay, we're gonna let that go for a minute or so, and you're gonna see it's gonna start blowing up. All right, second run. And we're gonna scrape. All right, don't forget, slow the mixer. All right, we're gonna scrape. And since we're using butter, it's gonna have a little tint of yellow, and once everything's all incorporated, I'm gonna show you if you do want pure white, there's a little tiny step that's gonna make this not pale yellow, but it's gonna be pure white. We're gonna scrape it down one more time, and then we're gonna let it go for about 2 minutes or so. At this point, we want to put as much air as possible. We're trying to make it light and fluffy. What happens with that is you're going to get air bubbles. So when you're icing your cake, air bubbles are a bad thing. You don't want them. So I'm going to, from this step, we're actually, once we do the vanilla and a little bit of salt, we're going to actually also take the air bubbles out. Super easy. We're going to do a ½ teaspoon of salt per batch. So since we have 4 batches in here, we're gonna do 2 teaspoons. Give or take. That doesn't have to be so exact. And you can taste as you go. So this is gonna enhance the flavor, but it's also gonna kind of cut the sweetness down. All right. The most important part. So each batch, we're gonna do a ½ of vanilla bean. We're doing 4 batches, so we've got 2 beans. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slice them down. I want you to take a little tiny paring knife, but it's gotta be sharp. And you're gonna be real careful. You're gonna try to get right down the middle. We're gonna do it right here. They're a little slippery, so be careful. And then you're gonna take the tip and you're gonna open this up, and you're gonna take the back of your knife and you're gonna take all those thousands of seeds right out. And you're gonna drop them right in. Take the other side, scrape, scrape. Now, I get mine in bulk, but if you're just using it for your own personal use, it's come a long, long way. You can get them at Trader Joe's, Shaw's, ShopRite, any of your local stores. Usually they come to probably about $6, $7 to $9 for 2. And it's worth it. Now, what do you do with this? This is extra, but it's not. So I drink coffee in the morning. And yes, I use real sugar. So you don't want to waste this. This is good stuff. So let's get all these beads right out. You're never going to get all of them out, but you can use them for other things. We're going to make vanilla sugar. That's it. Keep it in there. Shake it around a little bit. And it goes for my coffee. So when it's done and mixed to the point where it looks kind of like a marshmallow fluff, that's when you know it's done. And because I've done it so much, I can actually hear it through the mixer when it's done. And this is pretty close. Now, I think this is white. This is the color that I usually like to say is on my white cakes. It's a little bit more rustic, a little bit more natural. If you, for whatever reason, want pure white, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna take a violet gel color, not the Easter egg coloring that you get in the supermarket. It needs to be gel. Violet or purple, you're literally gonna take just a tiny little dab. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna counteract the yellow of the butter. Kind of like when you get your teeth whitened or you use that purple toothpaste to make your teeth look white. It's the exact same thing. I don't know if you could see it on camera, but it's turning a lot more bright. I'm gonna use a little bit more because this is a big batch. Now it's done, but we wanna take those air bubbles out. So this is the messy part of the job. All right, that's it. Do one last scrape down. Check your consistency. And there it is. The best American buttercream. Simple.